What is up, everybody? It is Skarada, or better known as Mario Matthew Torres in the community, and I've come to give you guys a sweet Black Dragon deck profile. Now, they got some support in XBTO3 that made him a very strong anti-meta-ish oppressive deck. So, they saw a lot of competitive play, just did really well in tournament. Overall, successful deck. So, before we get onto the deck profile, we do have a Patreon, and if you guys can pledge a donation or two, if you can. If not, just leave a like and subscribe. I'll be leaving the link in the description down below. So, moving on, our buddy is a short repost Abigail, a 501 size 1, no call cost, but when he enters the field, you put the top card of your deck in the gauge, and then if you have a Black Dragon set, you gauge another card. So, it's just an on-call gauge too, just overall a really solid card. And he's free to call, so that's mainly why he's our buddy. So, on to size zeros, we play 4 sealed Black Crest Dragon Elgod, one of the best size zeros in the game in my opinion. He's a 3/02. Top card in his soul, and 1 gauge. The abilities of all monsters in front of it are nullified, and this ability in itself cannot be nullified. Has Soul Guard. Pretty much one of the most oppressive size zeros. Just does really well against any deck. You can counter call this, and you'll nullify its abilities. Just a strong card overall. Next, for the last of our size zeros, we play 3 sealed Black Crest Dragon Ganmaro, a 2/1/1 size 0. Counteract. If you have a Black Dragon set, you can ditch him from your hand and choose a card in your opponent's field. It gets -5k and -3 crit. Just one of our best defensive cards in the entire deck. It just stops anything that has double attack or triple attack. Anything beyond that. Really good card. Overall solid. For size 1s, we play 4 copies of our buddy. Not much to explain here. Just gauge 6L. Really good card. For the last of our size 1s, we play 3 Ruler Battle Zone Abby. A 4/2/1 when he's in the drop zone. If during an attack on your opponent's turn, you can pay a gauge, put him to the bottom, and nullify the attack. He's a free resource basically. We can pay him out as gauge and just have him as a free shield, which is just really solid. It's just free resources, and it doesn't have to be in our hand to do so. And we have ways of milling just to get it there. Next, for size 2s, we play 2 Gloomy Black Dragon Snake Balzam, a 5/2/4. When he enters the field, you can sack a Black Dragon and then gauge and draw. Just really good. He helps us turbo our deck a little bit, just gets us into our pieces. And that's for our size 2s. We play Black Arc Dragon River Plane, a 6/2/1, pay a gauge. Counteract ability to destroy a monster on your field if you do call up to 1 Black Dragon or Thunder Empire monster from your hand by paying its call cost. Then he also has the ability to on call destroy a monster, and he has built-in double attack. So really good card. He pretty much does it all in one. He lets you counter call some of your important monsters like Elgod and Zem7s, which I'll show you soon. Just a solid card overall. Next, for size 3s, for our main size 3, we play 4 Dark Black Arc Dragon Zem7s, a 6 and 8/2/6, excuse me. Put a total of 2 Black Dragons or Thunder Empire monsters from your drop zone into his soul. Pay 2 gauge. He has a counteract ability to remove 1 soul, choose a monster in your opponent's field, and then pop the monster. Double attack and soul guard. Card is just absolutely amazing. It's 2 gauge for basically pop 2 monsters, and it has double attack. So in an equivalent, you can pop 4. But overall, just one of the best size 3s for this deck. It's just really strong. Next, we play 3 Chaos Dale Burke. Pretty much one of the best +1s in Darkness Dragon mode as a whole. Pretty much, I think all decks need this card. It's a 7/2/3. On call, check top 3 cards, add 1 into the hand, and then put the rest in a drop zone. Just a really good card. It helps you get your battlefield Abbeys in drop, and just gives you an overall +1. Helps you dig into those pieces that you need. And then to round up our size 3s, we play 3 Azigan, a 10/0/10. Pay 3 gauge and put any card on your field into its soul. So that would include set spells and or items. When he attacks all monsters, and at the end of the battle that he attacked, if your opponent has no monsters on their field, you can destroy a card in your opponent's field, and then burn him for 3, has double attack and soul guard. This card is really good against Chaos. Can't stress that hard enough. It's just a really strong card against that deck. It pretty much just nukes their board for 2 attacks, and amazing card. Not much to explain there, but just a really good card overall. On to spells, we play 4 Black Ritual. Its cast cost is to destroy a Black Dragon on your field. Gauge, put a top card to deck and gauge, gain a life, and then draw 2 cards. Just your main resource engine. It's a staple. You have to run 4. Next, we play 4 Obituary, which is Pay a gauge. This card's ability can't be nullified, and when it's set, if you have a black dragon in your drop zone, you get to draw a card. Then when it's destroyed on your field, you get to make your opponent discard 1. This card is just really, really good. It's a +1 and it makes your opponent -1. Not much to explain. Next, we play 4 Invitation to Deathground. It's a set, and your opponent cannot call monsters from drop zone. And has the counteract ability to choose a monster or an item on your opponent's field. Pay 2 gauge. If you do rest that card, you may only use this ability once per turn. It is not named, so if you have multiple copies, you can use multiple of these. This card's mainly in here because it's the your opponent can't call from drop. This card, that part of the ability just makes it what it is. It pretty much counters the entire Chaos deck as a whole. If you get 2 of these out, they have a really, really hard time getting around this card because they would have to call 2 Ibukis from hand, basically, and it's just a strong card. So next we play 2 Cage of Nightmares. The abilities of this card cannot be nullified as well. When a black dragon enters your field, you make your opponent mill 1, and that ability can only be used once per turn. When this card is destroyed when this card's sent to the drop zone from field, you get to salvage back a black dragon monster. So we don't play this for the mill effect. The mill effect is very minor, and it's actually less beneficial for us, but we do play for the salvage effect just because it gets us back our combo pieces, and it's just really good stack outlet for some cards. Next, we play 2 Execution Ground. When a soul is put into your black dragon, you gauge 1, and then you draw a card. I believe this is errata, so I'm just kind of reading the card text. But basically, when a soul is just entered into your black dragon, you get to gauge and draw. And then when a set on your field is destroyed, you make your opponent burn for 4. You can only set 1 of these. Now, personally, I would want to play 3 of these, but I just couldn't find my 3rd copy. So if you guys want, you guys can switch out some of the cards in here to put a 3rd copy. I highly recommend it. This card is just really, really good. We have a lot of ways to use it, like through M7 and Elgod. Just many targets to do it. Next, we play 2 Gale Impulse. It's cast cost to destroy a black dragon on your field, pay a gauge, and then pop any card on the field. This card is just really good removal. It also triggers cards like Obituary, Nightmare Cage, and just a lot of synergy with the deck. Just a really good card. Next, we play 2 Removal Voice. Pay a gauge, call a size 1 or less black dragon monster from your drop zone by paying its call cost. You may only cast 1 Removal Voice per turn. This card is really good, just getting back Repost Abbey just for some gauge excel, or mainly Elgod, which we prefer to use it for, just to make it so we can nullify some abilities. Really, really strong. And then last but not least, we play 2 Black Crest Conversion. This card wasn't originally in my build before, but due to recent things, it's kind of a good card, but it's set at the beginning of your final phase. You may destroy a black dragon on your field. If you do draw a card, you can only set 1 of these. You can only have 1 of these set. So this card's just really good because it helps you with it helps you unbrick a little bit, because it's kind of like a draw 1, except that it's at a really bad timing. But just being able to keep drawing cards and sacking cards like Obituary and Nightmare Cage, you can also sack itself to redraw, is really good. It just helps you get through your deck a little bit faster. So overall, just a solid card. But that rounds it up for the spells. That's pretty much the deck profile, guys. The main thing I can tell you guys about combo-wise is just having any board that has a Zem 7 or just double of these guys. This is pretty much like what you want your board to be looking like most of the time. A good combo is to countercall Elgod through like River Pain or Removal Voice in front of somewhere, and then have a Zem 7 sitting around, and you get to pop any monster. Like this combo is really good against bots, because if they call bots to like the left or right and you have one of them, you nullify the bot's ability and you get to pop it, which is just really good. But yeah, that is the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm going to be posting I hope you guys enjoyed my toilet deck profile, and you know. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later.